Father Ben walked out the front door into the gathering sounds of the Oktoberfest. The meeting had just broken up, each member dispatched for their new duties. He scratched his head and prayed for their success, not only for the festival, sorry God, but that he would finally do something right at this parish. He felt like a salmon swimming upstream, being the new man in such an established parish. The way it's always been done was hard to overcome. He touched the Father's B sign for luck and was off. A quick tour through all of the new things was in order. He began to walk down the hill to the children's games, but Beth waved him off. She seemed to be mediating some kind of dispute and clearly wanted no help. He'd head over to the main ticket booth instead. On his way there, he passed Joy in the beer booth. She did her best to entice him, but Ben thought a mug loaded with water was a better way to begin the evening. A few feet later, he was stopped by Mrs. Schwab. "Have you seen Tyler? I turned my back on him when I was decorating the chalkboard for the wine garden, and I can't find him anywhere." Ben looked around. If he was a third grader, where would he go? "I'm thinking Tyler could either be down at the children's games, because the teens seem to have the party started already, or possibly up with the Super Smash Bros. Tournament. I didn't see him at the games. Would you like me to walk with you up to the school and help look?" "Please. The other kids are corralled in the car, but I don't think that will last long." As they walked up the hill, she went on, "Father, I just don't know what to do with that boy. When we are at home, he's always as kind and thoughtful as can be, but he goes out in public and he just wanders off. Somehow, if trouble is brewing, that boy is right in the middle of it. It's like he knows something is going on and wants to see it." "Don't worry, Mrs. Schwab. It's way too early for trouble. We'll find him and you can get your family home." They reached the front door of the school. Father Ben opened the door and ushered Mrs. Schwab inside. They could hear the sounds of the video game echoing down the hall. Following the sound to the cafeteria, they found Jack Thatcher, the new third-grade teacher, testing out the game. Sitting right beside him was Tyler, controller in hand. "Tyler, what are you doing here? I told you I'd be finished soon. Get straight to the car, young man." "Mom, that was an hour ago. Can't I finish this game now?" Mrs. Schwab's cheeks were pink with irritation. She looked ready to explode. "Mrs. Schwab, would you like me to walk you to your car? I'd love to go out and see how the Boy Scouts are dealing with parking. It's my first Oktoberfest, and I don't know how this all works." When they got to the van, all the doors were open, and no children were in sight. "Tell you what, I'll sit here with Tyler, and you find the other two. That way you'll know where he is waiting for you. In fact, why don't you ask the Boy Scouts for help? I'm sure they'd love to help." He was sure of no such thing, but it didn't look safe to leave her alone with Tyler just yet. Nearly an hour later, she returned with 2 more children in tow. "Thank you so much, Father Ben. I would have been here all night without your help. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm working split the pot, and the children are helping bus tables for the main food booth." Even Liz. The way her kids wandered off, he thought it was a good question to ask. The little girl looked to be about 5 years old. "Actually, Emily is going to let her help in the duck pond for the 2 hours of my shift. Tom and Tyler will be working the tables. I'm looking forward to it. I love the crowds. Thanks again." She hustled the kids into the car and drove off. It was getting pretty late. He'd check in with the Uber drivers, then swing by the teen games he had arranged.